こんにちは、ミミさんですよ。お久しぶり、お邪魔いたします。Hello, it's Mimi. How are you? I haven't been showing up like this for a while, but I hope everything is good. First, today, I'm going to talk about 4 things. What's going on in Japan right now, August 2021. Number 1, Olympics, of course. Yes. Well, there are a lot of criticism, but I think Japan is still doing a good job in terms of Olympics because under this situation with Corona and all this, what other countries can you really hold the Olympics like this? And I think this is, it's still good and under the consideration. So let's celebrate. Number 2, hot. It's super hot in Japan right now. So it's almost like 100 degrees every day and day and night. The temperature doesn't even go down as much. So my friends are like boiling. And it's really hard and you get like sickness and you need water, but once you just go out and then the heat really gets you, so it's very difficult. And still you want to go out and you can't be just staying home and in the air conditioner, and that makes you sick as well too. Sweltering hot for Japanese people. Hello, please learn the word sweltering hot. It means super hot. めっちゃ暑い in Japanese. That's how you say it. 暑い. That's the correct pronunciation. 暑い for hot. めっちゃ暑い super hot. That's what it is. Now you learn it. Okay, one more. 超暑い. That means really, really 暑い hot. So that's the Japanese expression you learn. Number 3, what's going on in Japan? COVID. I know. We started wearing masks as well, right? So no comment. I'm not going to talk about it. I just said that they want to go out, but they're not supposed to, and it's actually a good reason to stay inside under the air condition. Aircon, that's the word in Japanese. Air condition. That's much easier word. Number 4, what's going on in August in Japan? This is a little serious. I will show you I can be a serious person, and it's about the war. In August, it's the end of the war. Memorial Day in Japan is the August 15th. It's not on August 9th like in the United States. It's called Victory Day in Rhode Island. Hello. All right. So it's 15th of August, and that's when we have memorials and visual, not only Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but there are in a lot of places that they talk about war. Children respect the old and then learn from the tragedies that we have experienced, and all these mistakes that they made caused a lot of problems. So that's another thing that Japan is going through in August right now. So let me just switch the topic, and then let's talk a little more about the war. Hiroshima. Everybody knows about Hiroshima and Nagasaki because of the atomic bomb. The death toll in Hiroshima is not really clear. They said that 10,000 people died of the day of the atomic bomb, and in total it's about 140,000 people was extinguished under the atomic bomb. So it's over time. So you know that because of the radiation, people became sick, and it took a while. It's a very, very cruel type of death that you get sick, and you eventually you get leukemia, the blood cancer, and that's a big part of it. You lose hair, and it's for the radiation that you lose skin and your body melt. I mean, it's really, really sad. They do make a lot of meetings to hear stories like this from the folks who had actually experienced the war. And it must be really difficult to talk about it, but they're very brave for the future peace. They want people to know what really did happen. So I think it's important. So, one thing I want you to know is it's not only Hiroshima and Nagasaki, unfortunately. Before US got to Hiroshima, there were a lot of urban raid, they call it. The airplane fighter jet called B-29 dropped bombs, and then they burned the urban area, starting from Tokyo and Nagoya, Osaka, one city after another. They burned the whole city, and it's civilians, of course, were included for death. And Wikipedia, I found the Tokyo raid in March 1945 was considered the cruelest, the most destruction of the human history. That's what they say, as air bombing. So that's how bad things were. And now I want to talk about, I want to share with you some very special message. It is from the Dr. Matthew Perry that you met at the Sakura Festival. Dr. Matthew Perry is the same exact name with the Commodore Matthew Perry who opened Japan from its isolationism in 1854. He went twice in Japan with a big voyage called Black Ship, and it's been celebrated since then. So here's Dr. Perry's peace message for you. Greetings to my friends in Japan and in the United States. When Commodore Matthew Perry brought his American ships to Japan in 1853, he said, "I have come here as a peacemaker." General MacArthur selected these words to be inscribed on the opening of Japan Monument in Shimoda. In 1939, when relations with our countries had deteriorated, which means became bad, 悪くなる, Ambassador Grew and his wife, who was a granddaughter of Commodore Perry, made an attempt to avoid war by conducting a peace conference in Japan. Let me share the picture of this. So here is the picture of the peace conference in 1939. Here is Ambassador Joseph Grew and his wife, Joseph Grew. She is the granddaughter of Commodore Matthew Perry. And here are the very important people as well. It says Kiyoshi, third generation of Manjiro, and Willard, fourth generation of Captain Whitfield. So Manjiro, you know him as the first Japanese person who landed in America, who was rescued by Captain Whitfield in his whaling ship, and he came to Massachusetts and he grew up as a son, almost as a son of Captain Whitfield. So these two families, Manjiro's family, Nakahama family, and Whitfield family had been friends for this long time, the longest friendship between American family and Japanese family. Isn't it amazing? Okay, and now let's go back. Now go back to Dr. Matthew Perry's message. Unfortunately, as we all know, these attempts for peace were unsuccessful, and two of our countries, Japan and US, fought a bitter war, culminating with two horrific atomic bombs. I have visited the Pearl Harbor Memorial and both memorials in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The lessons we learn when we truly understand the result of war is that no countries are successful during wartime, and that peace is a goal that needs to be continually sought by all countries. The current good relations with our countries is the envy of other countries and will continue forever as long as we work for peace and maintain good communication between the countries. 戦争体験から学ぶことは、戦争ではどの国も成功者ではない。平和が目的なんだから。そしてすべての国々が平和を築くために継続的な努力をしていかなければならない。Dr. Perry had been involved in many exchange programs for US and Japan relationship to help create our continuous friendship. Thank you again, Dr. Perry. He was hoping that he would join us for this video, but he was a little busy with his family, so he was not available today. But he sends you the best wishes and best regard. Here, so this is a picture of 1,000 paper crane origami senbazuru. This was made by my students, so these they counted 1,000. And I hung it in my classroom, and I adore them. And this is always the reminder to us how important peace is. So I hope that you will learn how to make this origami cranes and wish for the peace. So that's all my message. I don't want to keep you too long, and I don't want to be too boring. So I hope you have you learned something, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.